Wow, things are going pretty good here at Soledad. Waiting for the fall college term to begin for my books while I study with someone else's. Got a nice busy schedule, keeping busy and things, very little idle time except time needed for getting prepared for the day or winding down for the evening. Yes, this time around it is rather nice. Williams, pack it up. You're up for transfer. Huh? What? And where am I going? The many questions going through my mind, yet on August 30th, awakened at 2 a.m., placed on a CDC bus, later to arrive at California Medical Facility, CMF, Vacaville, California. Perhaps they did find something wrong with me and did not wish to tell me at the time. All these questions, again feeling victimized by California's justice system and CDC. Just when things were looking up for me. I should have known better. That is what I get for exciting or expecting some good coming to me in this life. Oh well. Initially, there's a bad vibe coming from the sergeant in R&R when he begins to explain about a new regulation imposed for integrated housing. I expressed to him that I am single cell. The look of displeasure and gruff of his voice let me know that things are not cool. It is my endeavor to get along with all staff and other inmates whenever possible. I even pray for staff and all in authority according to 1 Timothy 2, 1-3. I tend to be thrown off greatly when this doesn't seem to work. Still, there's a smile on my face to let him know Williams comes in peace. The light was cut off in the first cell I was placed in. This was of some unpleasantness, especially in the morning at breakfast time. The meal was served before day, forcing me to eat in shades of darkness. Much of the time I lost my appetite because the cell was not as clean as I would have it. Not being able to see my food was at the least unnerving. One CO said, "It's pancakes." You can't go wrong with pancakes, light or dark. You don't have to see pancakes to enjoy them. Of course, this did not make things any easier or better. A week or more later, when I received my property, there was no cable connections, and I could use the light of the television to see what I was partaking during the morning meal. Still trying to look up while thinking they are definitely picking on me. L324 was for intake alone. I was not to stay there, so after some time I was informed there was a cell for me in L104, 2 floors down. Now L104 was inhabited by 2 white gentlemen. One had gone to the hospital apparently just for a few days. This was an ongoing process with him. He was in and out of the hospital. Tragic for one of us, actually the 3 of us are affected greatly. The young man yet in the cell moved out next door to me, opening the single cell for my occupation. The tragedy came when the gentleman in the hospital had no way of coming back to his original cell. After some time of frustration, he hung himself and died. I literally dislike being a part of this, even though it was the oversight and the negligence of someone very careless and unsympathetic to the mental disorders of men around me. I could have moved with the white young man, but it is not my will to jeopardize my life or his by uneasiness in close quarters with others. In fact, had I not been made single cell, there was going to be a young Mexican-American man who I loved as a brother that had plans of joining with me. However, when I got out of the hole in June 2007, Brother George had relocated to another facility. So I am all for the integrated policy. It is just not for me, mentally nor physically, to be in these boxes with another man for long periods of time. While cleaning the cell that first day, I dislocated my left ring finger. I immediately let the CO in triage or nurse know, or clinician know, but it still took over 2 hours for me to get ice or anything for it. This is the California Medical Facility? I am feeling quite neglected. Of course, it is not their fault my finger was smashed. However, it is their job to give some type of immediate attention. Even so, had my finger been placed on ice earlier than it had, I do not believe it would be swollen as it is today, some 3 months later. Anyway, the next day, while waiting for x-rays, I chatted with a young man, as I do. It is my nature anyway, but this time it was an attempt to get my mind off the pain in my digit. After a few greeting words, the man says, yeah, they gave me 90 days to live. I did not really hear if he had said 90 days or 9 months, but the pain in my finger was of no consequence any longer. And I believe I hinted to that earlier. This man had a diagnosis which said, you will not be here much longer. Your body will shut down within 90 days to 9 months from now. Wow, what a blow to my psyche. I could have left without x-rays at all, but I did find out nothing was broken. Later on my way to initial classification, on the wall was a sign-up list for those desiring to attend a memorial service for the men who had died at CMF in the last few months. Now, in CMF, they had a sign-up list, as I just read, to attend their memorial services. The list of dead was long, too long for such a short period in any other place but a war zone. This is no war zone, but it is California Medical Facility with its own hospice. My heart goes out. Classification is supposed to be on the 2nd floor, but has been moved to L3, the 3rd floor. I don't know this until after I am allowed to see men on this small yard this early morning in wheelchairs. Their wheelchairs huddling and curbing the fence for a chance at sunlight peeking over and between the tall buildings. Men without legs to men with legs of little or no use to them. Another blast to me, another blow to my psyche. 90 days to 9 months to live, over 20 deaths in a few months, men without legs to legs of no use. Wow, what a blast to my psyche. My mind doesn't stop there, but moves. My mind doesn't stop there, but moves on to those seen on a daily basis who need shots to stop the voices or keep them from seeing things which are really not there. The others who are so heavily sedated, they do not know if they're coming or going. Often I've had to ask a few of them not to stand so close upon me. Some of these men forget to shower and sleeping in their clothes and do not clean themselves in any way. CMF has men with HIV, hepatitis, and the staph infection, which I heard is contagious. Some things just break my heart to see or behold so close to me. I think of myself, depression, bipolar, super sorrowful to super happy, back again and on and off again, a few ticks in the body, a pain here and there. Is that all? Look around you, Vincent. Most of these people can be helped by you. And surely they can help you, at least by reminding you, you don't have it that bad. It really isn't that bad. Still, they've sentenced me to life. Sentenced, and it looks like I will never see my family as family again. I will not be able to do the simple mundane things such as driving a car or hugging a grandchild or as he leaves my home. It looks like my dwelling will only consist of 4 walls of a 9x6 dimension with a sink, toilet, and small bed, and sometime a cabinet. But still, with the many ailments of those who do have dates, there is this thankfulness for my health and my strength, all my limbs and the like. I do miss the sincere smile of a woman who has mutual love for me, how she dressed only to impress me, sneaking up behind me, whispering, "Guess who?" Or the look which can only mean, "Honey, it's that time for you to be nice to me." Suppose with this sentence, those days are gone. But I will just have to find a way to say it. To say, "Vincent, it really isn't that bad."